Hey, this is Rick Brandenburg for Turf Bugs and Rock and Roll, and it's late October, and the Sasanqua camellias are in full bloom now. And I get a lot of questions this time of year about actually controlling insects this late in the year. And there's reason for that, so it's not totally out of whack for people to ask me that. And one of the questions I need to know is, well, where are you? And obviously, if you're in Maine, you probably don't need to treat for insects at this point. If you're in South Georgia, you might still need to. But there are a couple of things to think about. One is, what type of turf grass do you have? If you have cool season turf, it may be rocking and rolling right now because of the cooler weather and good soil moisture. It may really be doing well, and what few insects are out there couldn't possibly damage it. Whereas with warm season turf, cooler nights and shorter days may be causing it to struggle a little bit. So you got to think a little bit about that. The other is, can the insect actually do any damage? Here in North Carolina, we've still got a lot of fall armyworms and tropical sod webworms, but the nighttime temperatures are so cool. Some days don't warm up that much. So are they really capable of doing a lot of damage? Probably not at this point. Another question you have to answer is, can I control them at this time of year? Big mole crickets, big grubs, as it cools off, fire ants not being as attracted to baits, it can be a real challenge, and you can spend money on insecticide and not really see any return on the product you put out. So you really need to know that. And the other question I get, which is a reasonable question, by trying to control insects late in the year, can I actually have an impact on how many I have next year? In the case of things like sod webworms and tropical sod webworms, fall armyworms, insects like that, probably not. In the case of white grubs, you're going to get such poor control, I really can't recommend it. The case of mole crickets, with a few products, you might knock them back and have fewer adults tearing things up in March and April, and then fewer eggs laid. In the case of fire ants, certainly if there's warm days and you get some activity, you can. But there's not any real set answer to whether or not you can control insects and the value you get out of it. As a general rule, as we get late this time of year, you're going to find out it's really diminishing returns on the time and the money that you spend on insect control, and you're probably better off saving it for 2021, because that's got to be a better year regardless how you look at it. Hope that helps. Look forward to talking with you again soon.